going to try and make this a positive video, just a shout out to all my fellow vegans out there for staying vegan, or as vegan as you can be. Now, I'll admit I've got some few failings. I enjoy honey, my veganism doesn't go down to the insect level, and I do sometimes have some chocolate which has dairy in it, and in social situations I'm not going to be picking out the egg bits out of children's cakes when in social situations. So I'll admit I'm not 100% vegan. Who is? But I would say that even with my failings in perfectionism, I'm quite happy to know that I'm now, my level of veganism has been more beneficial to the world than the Puritan vegans that have all given up veganism. For example, we've got the well-known Tim Sheaf. He was quite the Puritan. So pure, he went from vegan to raw vegan to fruitarian to just drinking his own wee. So that surprisingly, he didn't get healthier and then completely gave up and went carnivore. As you do, because when you talk about your love for the animals and the environment and all that stuff, suddenly, after drinking your own wee for years, and other people's wee as well, that's a great thing, that's when you decide to just go pure carnivore. I'd love to have like a time machine and bring Tim from 2016 to meet his 2019 self and just have him punch himself in the face. There's another one on one of my other channels that I watch. Somebody again, ex-vegan turned carnivore. There's a no-fap meditation primal screaming therapy. Okay, that person's got other things going on in their life. This is what's brought up my attention. Is Jason Pizzino, one of the few vegans that ventured to Thailand and managed to not be persuaded to have a vasectomy, because that was the in thing to do when you were in your early 20s, maybe even only in your teens, and you're following some slightly deranged psychotic cyclist in Thailand. That was the thing. He didn't do that. But again, he's also somebody who not just given up veganism, not just like, I'm going to have some cheese, I'm maybe going to go to vegetarianism, but going to full carnivore in Greece. It's like, okay, right. And he's got a 20-minute video here. He's got another video explaining why that. And he brings up some arguments about environment and how he doesn't really believe that vegan blah, 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 something. But yeah, so I'm feeling strong. Like, hey, I'm doing good. Kasumi Chris, I don't know who she was, but everyone seems to know who she was. Again, another person who from vegan to carnivore, and it's all like there's conspiracies about veganism. You've got an agenda, and the other thing though, I'm going to have to admit that maybe I've got a certain privilege in this situation. My privilege being I'm not necessarily easily manipulated. So I'm not one to believe the fanciful claims that were put out about veganism when it first came out. Like it can cure everything. Oh, it can cure cancer. What's that? You've got acne. Go vegan, that'll cure you. What's that? You've got sore joints and sore muscles. Go vegan, that'll cure you, all that kind of stuff. And it's very much being promoted as a cure-all for everything, and you can just live on a beach in a foreign country by being a vegan blogger. Yeah, that's gonna make you a great person in society. So I wasn't easily manipulated. However, and an additional point is I haven't suffered any health issues. Again, a lot of the vegans who were quite militant in their veganism were massively proclaiming the benefits to their health when they turned vegan. And then after years and years of drinking their own wee, they suddenly think that veganism has stopped them from being healthy. But yeah, so there's another one who, a lot of them claim that they're not feeling well, not eating well. Vegetable Police. His channel is still called Vegetable Police, even though he went to eating nothing but beef. What a great idea! What a sustainable diet for the population. But again, somebody who suffered from some form of gut issues and clearly suffered from it and had to change his diet for that. Not quite sure what medications he went under or any doctors that he went to see, any reputable doctors that he went to see regarding that. Seems to be all kind of self-medication going on there. Again, with our famous urine drinker, Tim, a lot of denial of medicine, a lot of believing in woo-woo, a lot of believing in conspiracies, and a lot of drinking his own wee. But yeah, again, people 10 years vegan and then giving up. And it's not just giving up, it's full on going carnivore. Here's another Bonnie Rebecca. She, again, suffered a lot of health problems, possible social anxiety problems, certainly stress-related problems around veganism, it seemed like. But she's given up as well. There's another one. And... so here's a good channel, 23 ex-vegan YouTubers. So Vegan, Earth and Soul. This girl's done a good video of kind of like wrapping them all up in one thing. So Kalel, that was another, she was quite a famous vegan, promoting the vegan agenda. Wink. But no, now giving up and going back to fully eating meat. So again, even the wee drinking Tim Sheaf, when he said, "I've given up veganism, I had a bit of salmon and an egg," the general argument is you could have got the benefits from that from something else. But do you know what? I was like, at that stage, I was like, fine, a bit of salmon and an egg. What's actually come out though is he's gone full carnivore. so again, like one of the healthiest diets in the world is the Okinawan, O or O, can't remember. Kaki kukako, kaki ai u o. Sorry, I'm speaking Japanese here. O. Okinawan diet is 95% vegetables and carbs, and then a tiny bit of meat, usually in the form of fish. And generally, I would say probably their fish in that area is probably fairly healthy fish, I'd imagine. I don't think they're gulping down tons of tuna filled with mercury, but there are certain benefits from high omega-3 fatty acids in certain fishes. So like, I think mackerel's meant to be a very good one. Salmon is a fairly famous one. But then you've always got the arguments of how salmon is farmed these days. And there was a recent... What was it? There was a recent thing in Scotland. We have these salmon farms in some of our lochs. It's a giant net, circle net with millions of maybe not millions, but like hundreds of thousands of salmon shoved in there. And it's quite a small area, and what happens is they're all having to fight for survival, and that gives them a good amount of muscle. And they're throwing, they're fed food, which is actually like, what was it? It's got colouring in it. The food that is fed to the salmon has a colouring in it, which makes the salmon's flesh more pink. So if you see really pink-looking salmon in your superstores or something, it's not necessarily meaning that those fish were super healthy. It's just that they were fed a diet which artificially made them a bit more pink. I thought that was quite hilarious. Anyway, recently one of those nets broke loose or something. All the salmon escaped and went into the local pond and the local lake, and decimated the whole lake, the whole loch, because suddenly it'd gone from 100,000 fish in a tank, in a net, being artificially fed, to suddenly they go out and go, oh, look at this giant loch that we can go eat everything, and just destroyed the whole ecosystem there in under a week. and the thing is, nobody had noticed. They're just like, yeah, we just keep throwing the food in this net. They're not jumping that much. Yeah, they must be a bit tired or something. Yeah, we'll bring them out soon. Then they bring the net out and go, oh, there's no fish. You're like, ah, whoops there, and yet the rest of the loch is now like decimated. So yeah, there are other aspects of, it's not just veganism for its omega-3. There are it's not just veganism for just the for the animals, for the fish, but also for the ecosystem going on there. Even though salmon sounds like such a great thing going on. But yeah, so this is a shout out to all you vegans, pro-vegans, wannabe vegans, try-hard vegans. If you are surviving the vegan abandonment, that's what we'll call it. What was it when rats flee a sinking ship? Maybe veganism is a sinking ship, or maybe it's just the rats are leaving. I don't know. But either way, I'm feeling quite proud of my ability to stay true to my efforts in veganism from the start. My pro-vegan stance. Some hardcore militant vegans may disagree with my even using the word vegan. However, the amount of hardcore militant vegans that are now full-blown carnivore, I kind of do you know what? What that? You're a militant vegan? Oh no, you don't think I'm vegan enough? See you in a while when you're a carnivore. Good job. So well done everyone. If you have managed to stay vegan, or mostly vegan, or pro-vegan, maybe had a little bit of chocolate inside, maybe had a pizza once with your family just to be social. Do you know what? Well done. You're doing a good job. As long as you're not going insane. That being carnivore. Just how, I just understand how people with the mentality of following veganism, researching vegan, maybe that's the thing, maybe people just didn't research enough. Like, my transition to veganism was slow and laboured and filled with arguments. Generally arguing with people that were vegan, just going, oh, you guys are so stupid, blah, 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 and then realising that all your arguments were spot on. And then I was like, yeah, I can't argue with that. Yeah, you do. You're right, I do have a moral obligation. Yeah, I do have inconsistencies which I should try and kind of tally up together. And then it was a slow transition. I think it's all these people that jumped in head first into veganism. Seems like, what is it? We've got doesn't say 7 years vegan, 10 years vegan. I don't know how many will survive too long. But if you're surviving, well done everyone.